What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys had a great weekend. So, today I wanted to talk about keep working on yourself. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Everything changed for me when I understood this philosophy. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. That's the simple philosophy that changed my life forever starting age 25. If you work hard on your job, you can make a living, which is fine. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune, which is super fine. You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are.
Alright, guys. So, like I mentioned before, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. And again, it is Monday again, so let's get back to it. Today's video, like I mentioned, it was about keep working on yourself. Now, I know that's pretty self-explanatory, but um, sorry, I know it's pretty self-explanatory, but at the end of the day, you only have yourself. And I heard this quote by Jim Rohn, where he says, "Keep working on yourself." And he mentioned that if you can make $1 million, if you keep working on yourself, if you keep working at your job, you're still replaceable. I mean, you can be the best at your job, literally the best, like top of the line at the very best. You get hurt one day and you can't go to work, they're gonna find your replacement. But if you work on yourself, then you're understanding that hey, this is something that I can take with me somewhere else. I can be this version of myself all the time, and it doesn't hurt. It makes things a lot easier for you to understand that working on yourself is doesn't just have to do with work. It can be long term goals. It can be short term goals. It can be, hey, I want to stop coughing. I want to stop saying I want to stop being the person that people look at and they're like, oh yeah, that guy is the weirdo. That guy is never serious. There's certain things like that that you can work on consistently that are always going to be there. But if you decide to work on them, then it's something that you're building in yourself, your personality, your goals, your mentality. It's who people see you as and perceive you. And like I said, there's one of these quotes that I have heard before that says, "No one cares about how much you know until they know how much you care." Do you want to be that person that people can go to? Do you want to be that person that can be uplifting, living motivational, or do you want to be the class clown for the rest of your life? I mean, that's all on you. But work on yourself and keep doing it. Be 50 years old and keep working on yourself. Like I've talked about before, there's people who retire and they find their passion after they retire. You're working your day-to-day job all the time, and working on yourself just means that you're going to consistently do what makes you happy. When something makes you happy, it's just worth it. And at the end of the day, your happiness matters, and don't let anyone ever tell you that it doesn't. All right, guys. So, like I was talking about, when you keep working on yourself, it doesn't just affect you. It affects it affects everyone that's around you. I know when I actually started working on myself, my wife could see the difference. Have you ever been in one of those relationships where that person says they're gonna work on themselves, and then it just shows for like a week, and then back to the old ways? That was me. That literally the definition of me. And it was it was getting to the point where I was thinking to myself, why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep self sabotaging myself? Why do I keep trying to hurt myself or hurt people around me? And I kept making excuses like, oh, my dad left me. Oh, I didn't get enough attention when I was a kid. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, it got to me. But what sucks more is that I couldn't man up and say, I'm the reason why I'm acting like this. And it hurt my life a lot. It hurt her a lot to have to live through that, to have to go through that, to have to be in the middle of all of that while I'm working on myself. And I feel like I still had to go through that to be okay. If that makes sense. I wanted to be better, and I know that my wife, and out of everyone in the entire world, she never gave up on me. And it took me a while to realize that I was losing something that I had because of how selfish I was. It's not worth losing all these connections and all this intimacy and all this trust for selfish reasons. I mean, we're put on this earth, and truly what I believe is we're put on this earth to recreate and to keep our bloodline going and to make the world a better place. And how am I going to keep saying that if I'm not even doing it for myself? Right? It's easier said than done. So when I started working on myself, my wife started noticing, my pastor started noticing, my parents started noticing, and I started taking responsibility for how I was acting and really cracked down on giving myself a discipline and understanding that it's not about me. I don't just affect myself, I affect everyone around me, my kids, my parents, my wife, my family. my pastors, my friends. It literally happens all over, and it sucks that I kept going through that cycle over and over and over, self destruction. And it got to the point where I was alone and I was feeling like the worst ever. But I felt like I also had to get to that point to realize, yeah, you need to stop acting like a little kid and you need to grow up. All right, guys, we have came to the end of the video. This is the 99th video that I have put up, and I can't wait for the next one. Been planning for this one, actually preparing. So um, we're gonna finish on this one off strong, though. So, like I was saying, it doesn't just affect you and your yourself. It affects everyone around you. It all depends on these little things that you do. So I know people sometimes in this world, growing up, they hear you're not good enough. You need to be like your brother. You need to be like your sister. Why don't you do this? How come you're not doing that? Did you have this? And it's always the same thing. So you hear it so much growing up. Your mentality is like that. Your subconscious is like that. Like, oh, if I don't do this, I'm not good enough. Or if I don't get this job, I'm not gonna be able to make this amount. Or if I don't finish this, I'm not gonna be able to do this. And I've learned that if you constantly tell yourself those bad things, you're going to feel those bad things. But if you reverse that and start saying how good you are doing, then you're going to keep wanting to do good for a good thing, not because you feel pressured. You're going to feel like I built my life based on what I wanted to do, and that's why I'm happy. And a lot of people grow up being unhappy because they're trying to please other people. Working on yourself is the biggest thing that you can do to take care of yourself and be an example for the people that are out there that just haven't done it and can't do it or feel like they can't do it. It's your life at the end of the day. It's you, it's not anyone else. There's no one that's gonna be out there that's saying, hey, let me hold your hand and I'm gonna go to this job interview with you. I'm gonna go help you pay your bills. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Working on yourself is all aspects of your life, from the morning to the night, from day to day, from week to week, from month to month, from year to year. If you spend that time trying to please other people, then are you really working on yourself or you're just trying to work for them? Who's really benefiting there? Having a happy mom? Are you making your friends happy because you make so much money because they said they did this and now you're super stressed because you're working so much and you can never get a break and now you don't even have time for your family and you're losing all these connections? Like, it's not worth it to give up all that just to follow everyone else. So to finish off this last clip for the 99th video, I encourage you to work on yourself and tell yourself something that is going to help you one day at a time. even if it's something so small. Your life can change in one day, but it all starts with you. Tell yourself, I'm good enough every single morning. You wake up, I'm good enough. I'm good enough. I'm good enough. I'm beautiful. You get to the restroom, you feel horrible, that's fine. You're already doing your day, you feel worse, that's fine. At the end of the night, you just feel like you had the worst day ever, that's fine. The next day, do the same thing. I'm good enough. I'm beautiful. And trust me, it's going to get there. All right, guys. Well, God bless you. I hope you have a great night, and we'll see you on the next one.